question and answer. We've got a lot of new members of the community, so I thought it would be fun to just sit down and just talk and relax and talk about whatever. I just think that would be fun. So if live chat is something that you enjoy, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. If this is a format you don't enjoy, it's totally okay. I get it. It's not for everybody. There are 8 other videos that go live on my channel every single week. So feel free to check those out. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started by saying hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, where today we're going to help you not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll up and say hi to the first people that are here. Rachel is here. Hello to you. Happy Sunday, and kisses back to you. Amber, good morning to you. She finally has a Sunday off of work, so she's going to relax and enjoy the chat. Mama Goonie up in the house. Quirky Beauty is here. Good snowy morning yet. Yet snowy here in Maryland. We have about a foot of snow where we're at. I didn't go out and measure, but I kind of eyeballed it and guesstimated we have about a foot. It's supposed to snow all day today, so chances are kids are going to be home tomorrow, which is going to make for an interesting filming day, I'll tell you that. But it is what it is. Let's see. Morgane is here. Good morning to you. Oh, good afternoon to you. You must have watched What's Up in Makeup. She says that was a long video. And I missed Banshee Muse. How could I miss you? Good morning, my dear. Consuelo, good morning to you. Mama Goonie's got her coffee. Green Eyes is actually early. Happy to have you here. Nancy in the house. Mwah. I need to text you later, Nancy, because I realized yesterday that I forgot something that I said I was going to do for you, and I completely forgot. So I just want to let you know I just remembered. I was thinking I need to text you, but it was like really late at night, so I didn't text you. Angela is here. Good morning. And let's see. 4 p.m. where Morgane is. Oh my goodness. And if I did not say good morning to you and welcome. So, excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat. So good morning to everybody. If you have any questions for either myself or the community, we're just going to go ahead and open it up and just have like a nice little happy chat. Happy chat. Kristen says, good morning. It's like clockwork. I start cleaning my house and then I get notified. Makes cleaning so much better. Yay. Good morning to our moderator, Steph. Hello to you, Steph. So good to see you. Let's see. Melrose, I'm a teacher looking forward to snow day. I have a sweatshirt from when I was teaching and it says, I live for snow days. And I used to wear it every day before I thought it was supposed to snow. It was like my lucky sweatshirt. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it didn't, like lucky sweatshirts normally do. Good morning in Florida to Edward. Good morning to you. Oh, Edward, I'm just going to call you Edwards. Edwards. I don't know. We'll have to, hopefully you understand that I'm talking to you. Let's see. Me and my shadow, it's even in the 30s in Texas today. Wow. Queen Anna, I like my coffee with just some milk. I like flavored coffee with milk. No sugar. Except for when I go to Starbucks, and then I ask for them to go easy on the sugar, like half the sugar. Like mother, like daughter is here. Hello. Thank you for liking my sweater. I just got, my husband bought me a bunch of clothes from a company called Venus. It's an online retailer. I used to get their catalogs a long time ago when I was super, super not able to afford buying new clothes, unless it was the occasional shirt at, Walmart or Target. And I always used to look at them and go, oh, so cute. They're so cute. My husband bought me a bunch of them for Christmas. So this is one of my sweaters that I got. Most of the shirts you're seeing recently are from them. The price range is like between $20 and $45, somewhere in there. So not too pricey. A step up from Walmart, Target as far as pricing, but they're super, super cute. Let's see. Sorry, I'm umming. Kayla says, I always seem to miss the first few minutes. So glad I don't have to search the comments to figure out what's going on. Yep, you're here early. Olivia, morning from Savannah. What subject did you teach? I was an elementary school teacher. I started off for the first 5 years in a special education self-contained classroom, which is, it was teaching kids with severe learning disabilities. So they were kids that struggled too much to be in a general education classroom, but you talked to them and you had no idea that they had any kind of difficulty with school. regular conversation, but as soon as you put a book in front of them, as soon as you put math in front of them, you realize that there was something going on where they just really struggled. And I really loved that, but it was extremely, extremely challenging, especially with some of the behaviors that would come into the room. Sometimes it was very challenging, but we made it through. And then I switched to inclusion, which was when those kids went out into the general education classroom and they needed that extra support. The teachers needed extra support. So I did that. And then I taught fourth grade for a little while, focusing on reading. And then I went back to inclusion for a year. And then that's when I quit to do YouTube full time. But always in elementary school, fourth grade was my favorite. I loved fourth graders. They're so much fun. Oh my gosh. They're old enough to like question and wonder and ask like critical questions, but not old enough to be complete and total buttheads. Like some of them were, but very rarely, at least where I was teaching fourth grade. Very rarely. And when they were, the other kids were like, why are you doing that? It was great. I miss teaching. I do. Let's see. Let me go back up. Sherry says, I would love some help finding a new powder foundation. Right now I have a Kat Von D, but I would like to find a new one. I'm light to medium and cool tone. I'm having a hard time finding a good one. My favorite one that I've used forever was the one from Too Faced, the Too Faced chocolate one, but I think they discontinued that. That's been kind of my go-to for a really long time. So I don't really have a good one. The one from Pure is really good. It's one of my favorite products from Pure. I don't typically like products from Pure, but that one's really good. I like that one. But I'd be curious to know what the collective brain has to say on that. Tiffany remembers Venus. I know, right? Shirley says, I finally spend the money on a snowblower and no snow in upstate New York. No! Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Debbie says they sell swimsuits too. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. And Melissa says, like Delia for grown-ups. Maybe. I can kind of see that. Is Delia still around? That was a big kids, if you don't know of Delia, it was a big kids clothing store, like tween kind of clothing store. I was in my late teens, early 20s when Delia started. So I was too late for Delia. Even though I thought the stuff was cute, I was too late. AJ, would you ever consider doing a beauty room and a full collection tour? Probably not. The full collection tour would be kind of long and I wouldn't find interest in showing you all of that. So I find the decluttering videos, when I do those, are kind of like collection videos. But I think it's just too much. I think that'd be too much. I don't think that would be fun. I don't think I would enjoy it. But thank you, AJ, for the question. AJ is another one of our fabulous reporters. She's amazing. Mama Goonie, oh, good husband. Hey, when is he going to be on the show? I don't know when he's going to be on the channel. We keep talking about it, but we haven't thought of a good reason for him to be on the channel. So thank you, Miss Pocket. She likes my sweater. Kara says Target is just as expensive now. They charge more than Buckle for some of the stuff. Really? Wow. I had my first Buckle experience before we left for the summer. They have some cute stuff. Katie says, how did you deal with comments about your makeup from students? Started wearing makeup and my kids are commenting all the time. The only time I got comments from my students was when I didn't wear makeup. I think they were used to me wearing makeup. And if for some reason I got up late or I wasn't feeling well, didn't feel like putting on my full face, they were like, Miss G, you look sick. I just didn't put on makeup today. But I always wore, like, I never wore anything too terribly loud to work. So they didn't really notice a whole lot. I was very no makeup when I was working. So they didn't really comment on it much. They did comment on my YouTube channel when they found out about it. That was interesting. That was interesting when they found my YouTube channel. Every once in a while, one of them will pop by. Hey, like, what's up? I miss you. Hope middle school's good. Or high school for some of them. Some of my students are way past graduating high school. They're in their 20s. Lila says, good morning from Massachusetts. Good morning to you. Good morning to Michelle, another one of our fabulous does everything reporter, admin, Facebook admin, What's Up in Makeup moderator. Jane, any suggestions for decent face sunscreen for under full coverage makeup? I love the one from Julep. That's the one I use all the time. I like it because it's clear. We talked about it a little bit last week. It's clear, and it doesn't leave a white cast, but we learned last week that it is a chemical exfoliator. We're supposed an exfoliator, chemical exfoliator, really, Jen. It is a chemical sunscreen rather than a physical sunscreen, and chemical is worse than physical, I think. I think you're supposed to be looking for physical sunscreens and not chemicals. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. But it was the wrong one. It was the one that we don't like, apparently. But that's the one I've always used. I really like it. Dip Schwantz says, yay, special ed. I'm a nurse working with special ed kids. Yes. Definitely never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Kelly says, I'm looking to replace my Maybelline Dewy foundation. I need something more full coverage, but I love the finish of it. Any suggestions? Have you tried using an illuminating primer underneath it or some moisturizer mixed in? That might save you a little bit from buying a brand new one if you didn't want to. But as far as dewy foundations, I don't have many drugstore recommendations. Maybe the Collective Brain has a better thoughts. And if you ask one of these questions and I say it, make sure you come back later and read the comments and see if anybody answered your comments. You can always go up to like your edit and find button on your, I know my MacBook has a find, so you can find, words and comments really easily. So if you're looking for something in particular, I think that the Windows has a similar feature where you can search a page for a specific word. So you can look for full coverage, or you can look for dewy foundation and kind of skip around and see if anybody talked about it to give you suggestions, because I'm sure people in the Collective Brain that are watching on the replay will leave you suggestions as well. As far as dewy foundation, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'd have to look through my drawer. I would kind of wish that stuff was like easier to access and find for you, but dewy specifically, I can't think of one. I mostly just use illuminating primer, and that usually helps with it a bit. You can also try putting a little bit of like a liquid highlighter, just little tiny bit into your foundation. Good morning, Queen Spy. Sherry says, I did substitute teaching for like a week and it's definitely challenging work. Substituting is really hard because you don't know the kids. You don't know what's happening. You're walking in not knowing what's going to happen. It's kind of crazy. Queen Anna says, how do you feel the experience of being a teacher helped or hindered you as a parent? Oh my gosh, it helped so much. Oh my gosh, being a teacher, that has helped me to be so much better of a parent. Having that education background, understanding child development, it helped me with my patience, because you have to take many deep breaths as a teacher often. So that really helped me a lot, mostly with my patience and just understanding how kids' brains work overall developmentally, to kind of give my kids a little bit of a break, because they're kids. They've only been breathing a short period of time. I think sometimes parents can be really hard on kids for not knowing things or not being something that they expect them to be, but it's not developmentally appropriate for them to be. Like, for example, attention span, being able to sit for long periods of time, and just general patience when kids don't have patience. That's all developmentally appropriate for young kids, not to have patience, not being able to sit, not being able to just be quiet for a period of time. I mean, it's just not. So understanding all of that was super helpful. Debbie says, that's my son. He has epilepsy and he's in a class like that. They can be really, really wonderful. Those self-contained classes, they can be fantastic. Unfortunately, a program I used to teach, they got rid of it a few years after I stopped teaching, and they pushed all those kids into inclusion, which I'm not sure I agree with, just because I felt like those kids really needed that small group setting, and they really needed that extra attention. So I wonder what happened after that. So happy you're here, Mel. Steph says, yes, a full-time teacher, full-time mom, and full-time YouTuber. I was for years. It was hard, but I did it. It was definitely challenging, but I like a challenge. Good morning to Linda with your Diet Coke. Good morning to Lori. April says, 2 autistic kiddos, bless you for your hard work. My father worked with autistic kids for a very long time. So I was around a lot of kids with autism for years and years and years. So much respect. Let me see if there's any more questions. Oh no, it skipped down. Holy moly, it skipped down. Let me see if I can skip back up a little bit. Creative Misfit MUA says Dewy Foundation L'Oreal Pro Glow is apparently fab. Collab Dewy Foundation from Rebecca. Another L'Oreal Pro Glow from Sarah. Jennifer says, I think e.l.f. has a dewy foundation. Kylie, Bare Minerals, and It Cosmetics both have fantastic powder foundations. Thank you so much. Mishmash, mineral powders like Bare Minerals and Kula. I forgot about the Bare Minerals powder foundation. That one's really good too. You just brush it over your face and you've got sun protection again. It's just the way to go. Yeah, I don't. You know, me personally, I don't trust sun protection in powder products for some reason. Like I feel like it's not going to work. I have no evidence of that it doesn't work. None. It just kind of freaks me out. It just doesn't seem right. I don't know. I feel like it's just going to fluff off and it's not going to work. But I have no evidence of that. It's just in my brain. Yeah, Seth says if you add 1 drop of face oil to your foundation, it'll make it dewy. Yes. Chloe says, any recommendation for pregnancy-safe makeup? Found out recently there are a lot of ingredients that act as hormone inhibitors. One website I found recently that I definitely want to recommend to you, it's called skincharisma.com. Skin, C-A-R-I-S-M-A. And one thing you can do is go to their cosmetic analyzer and you can copy and paste the ingredients of a product into their cosmetic analyzer. And I found that, well, it goes off of Environmental Working Group, which I don't always agree with. Sometimes the studies that they rely on are not really applicable to makeup application. Like it may have been, you know, in the 1970s on a rabbit at 100% concentration. So therefore, because it hurt this rabbit in the 1970s, when they dropped 100% directly into the rabbit's eye, it's unsafe for you. You know, like it's like weird things like that. But it's at least a starting point to kind of get a place to look and see what ingredients may not be safe. And I do believe they talk about hormone things there. So that's a great place to kind of start. I don't want to list anything off the top of my head because it's not something I've specifically researched and have products already in my head. But that's a way you can kind of do it on your own and kind of look into different things. There's also, I'm sure you could find articles and stuff on pregnancy safe. You can talk to your OBGYN. But yes, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of ingredients that act as hormone inhibitors. That is very, very true. It's very sad. Very sad. Green Eyes. Love the Fit Me 24-hour, but only the matte finish. Want to try the dewy for a change. I haven't tried that one. I've tried the matte, but not the dewy. I'm with you. Ali says, I can't get the It CC cream to last longer than maybe 5 or 6 hours. I haven't used that in a minute. I kind of stopped enjoying it. The It Cosmetic CC cream. I don't know if it's just my tastes are changing or if it's just getting old. But I haven't been enjoying that one as much lately. It seems a lot cakier than it used to. I think it might just be getting old. Kara says, OMG, I love the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation, but not really dewy, but beautiful. And I have dry skin, not super dry, but dry, and it's amazing. Looks beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Gracie Flower Beauty Illumination Foundation is great and great price point. Angela, I'm 26 and I have tons of grays coming in and it's really affected my self-esteem. Any advice? They do have, you know, they do have like those pens and things you can get to cover grays. My mom swears by those things, those ones that you don't have to dye your whole head. You can just dye that little spot. See, I have my grays. I've had grays since I was about 28. Something like that. But this is definitely more gray than I've ever been. It's getting more and more. I get my hair done. You know, but people swear to me like the boxes are just as good as going to go get your hair done. I've never tried a box hair dye for that kind of stuff. But they have like the little mascara wands you can use to cover. But I mean, really and truly, it's like we're all getting older every single day. We're all getting older. Is it really that bad of a thing? Like, really, is it really that bad? I feel like our society demonizes getting older so much. Like it's such this horrible thing. And it's like, I'm like kind of glad I'm not in my 20s anymore. I was looking at pictures yesterday because of some conversation on Twitter of me back in college, you know, hanging out with my girlfriends, going in, you know, to the bar and drinking wine and being stupid. And, you know, it's like, I'm I like where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm the most content I've ever been with myself. I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been. And it's like, I wouldn't want to go back that way. And part of that is just getting older and getting more experiences. And part of that is getting wrinkles and getting gray hair. And is it really that bad? And I'm not saying this specifically to you, about Angela. It's our society in general about getting older. Like, why can't we just celebrate that we're still alive? Because the alternative to getting older is not fun. It's not good, So I don't know. I think that as the younger generation, I think that we're really, we did it too, though. I mean, I remember being afraid of getting older and thinking, that person's so old. What do they know? And it's like, oh, now I know a lot. They know a lot. So, I mean, I don't know. It's really affecting your self-esteem. I think that's when anything is affecting your self-esteem, I think you just have to look inside and find your peace. And that's different for every single person. So it's hard to give advice on something like that because it's really about finding your own personal peace. Just being like, you know what? I'm here. I'm alive to get grays. And that's a good thing, So I don't know. That's the way I feel. That's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. Going to kind of try to skip down and look for some question marks. Shanna says, what was that clothing store? I'm simply obsessed. Venus is what it's called. And I'm not sponsored by them or, I just like their clothes. They've never reached out to me. I've never reached out to them. I just like their stuff. Let's see. I'm looking for more question marks. Oh, no. Okay. Jennifer says, I've noticed that Tati doesn't use her Clarisonic anymore. Why? I don't know. But this is the thing too. I think that people sometimes lose touch with about watching YouTubers is that it's very different than watching a television show. I think sometimes in our brains, because we're human, we want to, that just got really bright. We want to, our brain likes to simplify things and make things easier. And just because we don't see someone on YouTube using something doesn't mean they don't use it anymore. Or maybe we just got bored with it. Maybe it's not that it's bad. Maybe we just want to move on to something else. It doesn't necessarily mean that we don't like it. Like, for example, I had somebody comment on, I forget what video it was, but it was something about how my Jaclyn Hill palette, how I didn't put it. Oh, I think it was the live chats when I was going through the palettes and I was talking about my different palettes. I didn't show the Jaclyn Hill palette. Well, when she did the video with Stephanie Nicole, was one of her favorite palettes and she must have been lying about it. Or maybe it just wasn't that good. And it's like, no, actually, I kind of misplaced it in a box for those videos. It was missing, and I do still like it. Do I use it all the time? No, I don't, because I'm a makeup reviewer and I'm constantly trying new things, and I have 2 eyeballs, and I have 7 days in the week, and I don't wear makeup every single day. So I don't use it very much, but does that mean I don't still really like it? No, it doesn't mean I don't still really like it. So keep that in mind, because Jennifer, I know you're not the only one. I know there are a lot of people that that kind of make those generalizations accidentally, without any ill will, without any bad intentions, but making connections for things doesn't necessarily mean things should be connected, and I see that a lot because we're not living our entire lives on YouTube, making connections that, this connected to this means this, but you're missing a whole piece of life that is not filmed. So, just be careful with that, with making the judgments based on what you see on a screen. Because real human beings, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. What was that movie with Jim Carrey? The one where he was on this camera all the time? I forget what that movie was called. But yeah, I mean, it's not like that. We're people living our lives. So, I mean, you could always ask Tati. You could try to send her a tweet. She doesn't seem to answer, comment back on her comment section. But you could always tweet at her and ask her, hey, are you still, not like that. You don't use your Clarisonic anymore. Why? Like, she might take that wrong. So maybe like, hey, I was thinking about getting the Clarisonic. Are you still using it? I'm curious. Something like that. Maybe she'll respond. That's my take on it. Debbie says Tati does still use the Clarisonic, just not when doing videos. She still talks about loving it. Some don't use things that the average follower can't duplicate. Yeah, that's a good point too. Christy says, now I'm worried about my makeup. I want to everything right. I wonder if there's a video on YouTube for not to use while pregnant. So much misinformation. You know, when I was pregnant with my kids, I didn't know. My kids are great. So, I mean, I think that it's one of those things where, you know, there's no real way to know. That's the problem with the FDA and, you know, the regulations and everything. There aren't enough studies done on cosmetics and ingredients and all of that because they cost money. And it's just not a priority for the FDA for cosmetics. So if it was, then we would definitely not be, we would definitely be regulating cosmetics coming in from China and other locations that, you know, are these kids makeups that have lots of lead and things like the Halloween makeup and all that. We would be regulating those things. That would be a priority, but it's just not. We just have to kind of do our own research, and there's just no way to know. But just so you know, I used all kinds of makeup and things when I was pregnant with my kids, and everything was fine. Truman Show. Thank you very much. Going back to that for a second. But yeah, I mean, it's just, there is a lot of misinformation out there. But I'm sure that there's a way you could probably Google a list or, you know, if you're really super concerned about it, or talk to your OBGYN because they're the expert on these kinds of things, you know, of anything you really need to avoid. So, I mean, I didn't avoid much when I was pregnant. I didn't drink alcohol, obviously. I very, very rarely had any kind of caffeine. But other than that, I can't remember anything that I like specifically avoided. I took my vitamins. Oh. I saw a question and it skipped down. It was about dancing and makeup and I lost it. The Truman Show. Everybody's like, the Truman Show, the Truman Show. Yes, thank you. It was a good movie. Okay, Candy, as someone who used to dance as a child and had to wear makeup on stage and hated it, any advice in how not to hate makeup from a bad experience as a child? You got to find that internally. I think that why I didn't like wearing makeup as a child was when my mom put foundation on me. Ugh, the feeling of this heavy, smelly Avon foundation. It was rare, but I don't know. I think it's just like anything, you know, that you didn't like as a child and you feel like it like messed up your head. I think you have to find your own peace somehow. I don't know. Because, yeah, I mean, it's amazing how things that happen in our childhood can affect us so much into adulthood. I don't know. Like how I think it's just finding peace within yourself and figure that, because everybody's unique with that kind of stuff. Edward says, Trader Joe's has skincare. Yes, they do. They do. I should go there sometime soon. Kara says, wait, but are there rumors that the Halo hair supplements Tati recommends is true that they don't work? I did videos on those. There are tons of people that have testimonials that say that they do work. I use them for the recommended 3 weeks and did my video. I used them for a full month. I didn't see anything happening, but I also don't have a lot of issues either. I don't have a lot of hyperpigmentation. I don't have acne. I don't have super dry skin. I don't have like a lot of the issues that it's supposed to help. So I don't feel like I was a good test subject for it, honestly. But there are a lot of people that say that they do work. I do have a full video on the ingredients, so if you're curious about that, it's very, very long. Watch it on 2x speed if you're curious. Michael, I take care of 2 elderly family members, so oh, okay. Go to Five Below and Walmart. They have cheap versions of the Clarisonic. Good to know. Good to know. Happy you're here, Belinda and Sean. Shawnee. Okay. Dip Schwan says that Tati does use it. Okay, there you go. I'm sure there are some men floating around here. I do not use the Clarisonic, Jenny. I find it to be too harsh on my skin. I bought one for my husband for Christmas a couple of years ago, and it was too much for my normal skin. So I do not use it. I don't use physical exfoliators either. I much prefer chemical exfoliators for my skin. AHAs are my favorites. Michael says, vitamin E cream, CVS, safe for use when pregnant. I would have to look more into that. Let's see. Loving Beauty, how do you, you can @ somebody and that'll highlight their name in red. When you @ and then start typing the person's name, you'll get choices and you click that person's name and then it highlights it for them so they can see you're talking to them. Flory wore makeup through her pregnancies and all was fine. Yeah. Hi, Flory. Flory's another one of our fabulous reporters. Kylie says, aging gracefully is such a badge of honor. I know myself so much better at 35 than I did at 25. Look forward to being even happier as I grow older. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I was a hot mess when I was 25. As far as emotionally, I was a mess. Maybe not 25. Yeah. No, it was more like early 20s. I don't know what was going on. I was figuring things out, you know? I was figuring things out. Mostly in the boy department, I was a mess. Other than that, I mean, I was taking care of myself. I was living on my own, paying all my own bills. I was working full time, going to school full time. Sorry, it's taking me a while to these big spaces. I apologize for those. I'm trying to find these good questions. Mari says, have you ever thought about making a video about how do you film videos and how do you get your YouTube channel started? I have a bunch of videos about starting a YouTube channel. It's called the Truth series. So if you type in Jen Loves Reviews and Truth, you'll find a bunch of videos. There's different videos in that series, but there's a lot of them on starting a YouTube channel. How to improve videos without spending any money is one of them that I think is really, really good. And then just, YouTubers, how to be, can YouTubers be honest while making videos and getting paid, things like that. I've got a bunch of them. May, any advice for first-time makeup YouTuber? Have fun. And I think that's what's getting lost here. And I think in our social media society, the number of followers is starting to equate to the value as a human. And that really bothers me. I think that that's a horrible, horrible direction that our society is going in is, people that are getting so caught up in social media following that they put their entire value as a human on their number of social media followers. And that's just so incredibly dangerous. I think that if you're starting off on social media in any way, I think that the first thing you need to do is realize why you're doing social media. What do you want to get out of it? And if it's just to get a social following, then please don't. Please don't, because it's gonna, oh my gosh, just the emotional damage it can cause to people that aren't, if you're not growing fast enough and all of that. And the thing is people can smell when you're just doing it for a following. People can smell it and they won't watch and they won't care. If you're not having fun with it in some way, like, it's not going to work. Like, you have to be finding some kind of joy in doing social media in order for it to go well. It just breaks my heart that seeing some of these young people putting so much effort, quitting their jobs, putting so much effort into doing social media. And then when it doesn't grow as fast as they want it to, they take it so personally and they take it to heart and they think it's because they're doing something wrong or because they're not talented or they're not good enough. And it's like, no, there's only room for so many people at the top. And there are so many people that are not at the top that are extremely intelligent, extremely talented, have great ideas, are wonderful people. And and who's to say what really and truly makes someone go all the way to the top? It's the same thing with businesses. I mean, it's really, this is a long answer. This is a really long answer. Long story short, way too late. Get into it because you want to have fun with it, because you enjoy it, not because you want a following. That's my biggest advice. All right, I'm moving on. I lost like 10 viewers on that because I was rambling. 11. Oh, sorry. 12. Michelle says, we're talking about the Clarisonic again. Oh, it skipped down. I lost people. I lost questions. Christy says, how do you feel now that you're almost at 110K? I feel exactly the same as I did at 50,000. 40,000, 20,000. I'm doing the same thing as I did then. I'm doing the same thing. I love doing this job. This is the best job that I've ever had by far. I love doing YouTube. I feel like the exact same person I was back in, 2012 or whatever, whenever I started this channel. Wait, is that right? 2012? Yeah, 2012. 2013, except for I yell a lot less. I project my voice a lot less than I did back then. It's wonderful to know that people are enjoying my content, watching my content. That makes me really, really happy. It's great to be able to have enough views to be able to contribute financially to my family. That is fantastic. It's wonderful to be able to do this job, but I do kind of feel the same. I'm just doing my thing. People like it, they like it. They don't like it, they don't like it. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just going to keep having fun. And anybody that wants to tune in can, which is great. And I love connecting with the community. It makes me super happy. Hopefully that answered your question, Christy. Let's see. Looking for questions. Catherine, Jen will be doing another video recommending small channels. I really, really want to. I am kind of finishing up a few videos that I'm working on right now, but that is definitely on my list of things that I want to do. I don't have a lot of smaller channels right now that I've found. I have a few of them that are really, really good. One of them that I found recently is Kate the Great. Oh my gosh. CATE. Every single video she does it with some kind of alcoholic beverage. So it's like a smoky eye with a glass of Chardonnay. It's really cute. Smoky Glow is another one that I've found recently that I've been really enjoying listening to her thoughts on things. Very, very smart. So, I mean, I definitely would love to do a video on some of these newer people that I've found, but I don't feel like I have enough to do a full video. So I want to do a little digging. I want to talk to my friend Erica Vieira over at Beauty in the Vlog. She has a podcast and she helps YouTubers grow. I definitely want to tap into her because she has some wonderful creators that she helps. So I'll probably go over and talk to her and get some ideas and check out some channels of people that she helps to find some good ones for you too. But yeah, I would love to do another one of those because, it's really, really hard as someone starting out on YouTube to really break through that ceiling. There's definitely a ceiling. There's definitely a line that's really hard to break through. And it takes a lot to be able to get to that next level of views, that next level of being recommended by YouTube. It's hard. It's really hard. So yeah, I would absolutely love to. And it's good to know that you want to see that because that pushes me even further toward doing that sooner. Me and my shadow. I do love what I do. I absolutely do. Mama Goonie, any opinions on the Beauty Blender foundation now that the shade range has been expanded? I did not get that. I didn't get it, but I'm glad that they expanded the shade range. I think that's wonderful. Hannah Louise, yes, I watched one video of hers and I really enjoyed it. She's definitely, she kind of reminds me of a calmer version of Liv Loves Her Makeup in, her level of intelligence and how she approaches just giving you really smart, good information. It's kind of reminiscent of that. I know Liv shut down all of her channels. I know everyone has their own opinions about Liv. I'm not going to talk about that. In case you were wondering, Liv, if you were watching her, Liv did shut down all of her social channels. She mentioned on Instagram that she's on Instagram stories that she's dealing with some substance abuse issues, which made me so sad to hear. And that she's dealing with that and that she's cutting off social media for an indefinite amount of time. It kind of broke my heart that, she's going through all of that. But I wish her well. I wish her well. And I don't know anything about, I know there's some rumors about her boyfriend and who he is and what kind of person he is. I don't know anything about that. I honestly don't. So don't come at me. I don't know anything about it. We email back and forth for a short period of time. I don't know. Don't come at me. Yeah. Yeah. But I wish everyone well in the world. I do. I wish happiness and success for everybody. Yeah, Debbie feels like some of the people she's watching are turning into infomercials trying to sell items, and that makes me so sad. Yeah, that does get really frustrating to watch YouTube channels and really love them, and then they disappoint you in one way or another. But I mean, yeah, you just have to kind of constantly tweak your subscriptions and what works for you. And I lose subscribers every single day. I have people unsubscribing from my channel, and then I gain some. I lose some, I gain some. You have to do what's best for you when it comes down to it. Oh, LS. Yes. LS is another great channel. Yeah, absolutely, Susan. Thank you. Kylie says, this is why I love you, Jen. You're so relatable and speak the truth. Social media following has no reflection on your values, human being. Absolutely. And there are people with social media, huge, giant social media followings that are complete crap human beings. At least they present themselves to be complete crap human beings. So I think that's where things are getting twisted, is that when these people that are showing themselves to be horrible human beings are getting a huge social media following, then other people who don't have a social media following or who are younger see that and they say, okay, so the way to be a successful social media person and get millions of dollars is to be a terrible human being. So I'm going to be a terrible human being too. And it's like, no, no. So I'm hoping there's some kind of bubble that bursts or something, because this is not good. This is like really not good. It's really not good. Okay. Elle Leary is another good one. I haven't watched Elle a whole lot, Elle Leary. But I've heard a lot of great things about her. I've watched a couple of her videos and I found them to be good. Brooklyn says you should bring back What the K. I've thought about it, bringing it back occasionally. But there really wasn't a lot of interest in the Korean beauty, which made me a little bit sad. And also, like, thinking about it, like, I started What the K with, thinking about kind of the quirky Korean beauty, like the Eliza Veckas and stuff, the Milky Piggy stuff, and how it was kind of quirky and weird and, weird to me. And that was why it was What the K. And then I realized that Korean beauty, there's so much more than like the weird, like, like the things that seem very out there. And I don't feel like that the title of What the K is as appropriate as I thought it was when I started it, because it was more like, oh my gosh, look at this weird stuff. But it's really not weird. The Korean skincare is incredible. There's so many good ingredients in Korean skincare that we don't see in our skincare unless you're going to pay over $100 for the product. It's a great way to get really good quality skincare without breaking the bank. And I realized that the more I did that series. So I kind of don't like the title of What the K, because I feel like it leads the wrong direction. Like in the kind of, is it connotation in like the feeling of What the K? It's kind of like, what is this stuff? But really it's incredible products, some of them. Once you get past like the Eliza Vecka, the Tony Moly, all of the like super marketed cutesy stuff. So Bree says the pendulum will swing. I hope so. Angela Bright, I don't know. I'll have to check her out. Jessica from Jam Beauty 89, have been a favorite of mine for a very long time. Debbie says, are you going to review the new Fenty concealer and powder? Probably not. I don't have as much fun with concealer reviews and powder reviews and complexion reviews overall. I do have the new Morphe foundation on the way. My friend over at Too Much Mouth, her name is Shanine. She's amazing. She's sending me some of her light shades, which is awesome. I should get them tomorrow, of the Morphe foundation. I know a lot of people have already done it, and there's kind of a general consensus about how it performs, but I really want to get my hands on it. I really want to get my hands on the ingredient list. It's kind of freaking me out that I'm having such a hard time getting my hands on the ingredient list. I did order a makeup brush from Morphe, a $5 makeup brush, paid my $6 shipping. I got my 50% off, my 50 cents off with a 10% code. And I paid like $11 for this makeup brush so I could get a sample card of the Morphe foundation. I got the lightest one. And hopefully on that sample card, there will be ingredients, because I reached out to my contact at Morphe that James Charles put me in contact with. he put me in contact with someone for his video. She answered my questions for that video. And then I reached out to her again about the foundation. And it's been, I guess it's a week today. A week today sounds right. And I still haven't heard anything. I did do a follow-up email last week, still haven't heard anything. I think she's avoiding me on purpose, which really makes me nervous, because it's either she thinks that I'm going to slander the product without any kind of evidence, which of course I would never do. If the product is good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. So maybe she thinks I'm like going to say something negative no matter what the ingredients are, like I'm going to find something to say, or I'm going to lie. Maybe she thinks that, or maybe there's something really not good in this foundation. And that makes me super, super nervous. So I'm waiting for, I should get the brush, and she needs package tomorrow. And I was planning on filming a video this Wednesday, because that'll give me Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday to test it. I was going to do like a wear test on Wednesday. So that's 3 days worth of testing, which I think will be good enough to get an impression. So that's kind of where my focus is going to be for complexion products. So I'm probably not going to do the Fenty. I really wasn't a big fan of the Fenty foundation. It was okay. It kind of settled into my lines a little bit. It kind of went on, like I had dry patches at the time. I don't really have dry patches as much right now for whatever reason. It kind of hung on to dry patches. I wasn't a big fan of it. So I'll probably pass on the Fenty concealer and powder. Jamie Page. I've heard great things about Jamie Page. I don't know much about Jamie Page. I should check out Jamie Page because I hear great things. Nemazita says, what's the reason for not giving the ingredient list? I don't know. They won't answer me. Only if they're trying to hide something. I don't know if they're trying to hide something. I don't know if they're trying to hide something, or if they just think that I'm going to make something up, and that's why they won't send it. It's so weird. And the other thing Shanine told me is that there's no ingredient list in the PR package. I asked her to send me a photo of it, and she said there is no ingredient list. They don't have to send an ingredient list in PR because it's not purchased. The only way they have to give an ingredient list is if it's purchased, but because it's PR, they don't have to. So until it's on the Morphe website, which is, I believe, the 17th, we probably just won't know unless it's on the ingredient card, which hopefully it is. And if there's anything alarming that I need to let you know about, I will let you know on Twitter. I will also probably make a post in the YouTube community tab. And now those are starting to show up on the homepage, which is on desktop, which is fantastic. If you don't know, the YouTube community tab is another way that we can communicate with you. We can put polls up. We can put, just text things that we want you to know. So I saw it on the homepage on my laptop the other day, which I was so excited to see. And also, as you're scrolling through your feed of your subscriptions on your phone or your tablet, you should see community tab posts pop up. So if I see anything that's like, oh my gosh, this is not good, I will let you know as soon as possible on those platforms. But then I'm planning on doing a full video on Wednesday. So I don't know what's going on. The answer is I don't know. Samantha March, yes. She's one of my faves. I love her. She is such a sweetheart. I got to meet her. I believe it was October I got to meet her. She's amazing. Angela wants to know if anyone else uses drugstore skincare. After the skincare video that I'm working on, I'm still digging into ingredients of my current skincare routine. Once I am done with that video, I'm moving on to Derma E, which is a drugstore. It's a drugstore skincare line. That's what I'm going to be using for the next few months. But it's going to be a few months. So any other drugstore skincare recommendations, I'm sure Angela would appreciate. The Pixie toner is really good. That's one of the ones that's in my current skincare routine. Flory says, what's your favorite non-makeup YouTube channel? Probably Philip DeFranco. I'm like, I watch Phil every day. I enjoy his objective approach to news. I mean, of course, he adds in his own biases, but he presents everything very flat and then presents his opinion. He's a big inspiration for how I take my channel in general, and then also just in the news format and everything. I had the pleasure of meeting Phil many, many years ago, and he was very, very nice guy. It was actually when him and Lindsay were dating, and I got to meet both of them. And there's a video somewhere of Lindsay and I dancing with some other YouTubers who were bigger back then, because she had her own YouTube channel. Lindsay's his wife, if you don't watch Phil. So I kind of have a special place in my heart for Phil and Lindsay just because I've watched them grow so much. Back then, Phil had a terrible reputation for being a jerk. And when I met him, I was surprised at how nice he was. So yeah, I have a special place in my heart for the two of them. Other non-makeup YouTube channels, with Dr. Mike. Been watching a lot of Dr. Mike. Love me some Dr. Mike. Very pleasant to look at, but also very, very fun to watch. If you've never seen Dr. Mike, he watches, he'll like play surgeon games and then talk about whether it's like real or not, or he'll watch like Grey's Anatomy and talk about what's real and what's not, and give like good, like general medical advice. His Q&As are great. And just seems like a genuinely really nice guy. So those are probably a couple of my favorites that are non-YouTube favorites. Everybody's talking about Sarah V as a great skincare. I don't know why my nose itches like right here. About drugstore skincare. Sarah V and Cetaphil are the ones people are talking about. Mel Thompson, yeah, she's a recent discovery of mine. I knew she existed, but I just never watched her content for some reason. Steph says Morphe is shady if they won't show their ingredient list, caring more about the money they're going to make than what their customers' skin allergies will. Yeah, it seems that way, Steph. It seems that way that, you know, they're not giving it to me, which is weird. It's just weird. It's just super weird. I don't know why. And I did do a follow-up email too. And when I was asking her about the James Charles bout, like James gave me her email. And then I sent her an email the next day. And I'm telling you, within like 12 hours, she got back to me and was like, hey, I'm going to try to find out your, you know, the answers to your questions. And then like a couple days later, she followed up and she's like, I just want to let you know, I haven't forgotten. I'm still trying to find out the answers to your questions. And then a couple days later, she's, here are your answers, blah, blah, blah. Like she's so helpful. And it's like crickets. Like, chirp, 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 chirp. I don't know what's happening. And maybe something happened with her. Maybe she's not in the office. Maybe she's on vacation. I don't know, but I've added Morphe about it on Twitter too. I don't know. There's no way to know. Joe G, would you collaborate with any big stars, and why do you not like Jeffree Star? I would collaborate with bigger YouTubers that I agree with their, if I feel like we are on the same page as far as reviewing products, I will collaborate with a bigger person. But if not, I won't. Should I tell you the story or not? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm not going to say who it was, but my very first travel collab was supposed to be with a very, very, very large YouTuber. And we agreed on it. We set everything except for the date, and then I canceled it. I canceled it because something didn't feel right about it. Just something in my gut told me, don't do this. This is not the way you want your channel to go. Yes, you will get a lot of subscribers, but this is not good. My heart is beating because I feel really weird talking about this. Like it was not, I just got a bad feeling about it. And I'm glad that I didn't. And I wish that person well. But when I get a gut feeling that someone doesn't have the same priorities as me, as far as taking care of our viewers, making sure our viewers are not wasting their money, when I feel like someone cares more about their own personal growth and helping out a brand, then I will not collaborate with them. I don't care what size their channel is. Or if I feel they are morally not on the same page as I am. Not morally on the same page. So I'm not saying my morals are better than their morals. It's just we don't match. And I feel like that's where Jeffree and I are. Not that Jeffree even knows who I am, and I don't, that's fine with me. With Jeffree Star specifically, I don't like who he presents himself to be in public. And I said this recently in a video, he's just not my people. I don't like the way he publicly treats people. I don't like the way he seems to laugh at people who are having misfortunes. I don't like the way he talks to people. I don't like the way he flaunts his wealth. And it's a flaunt of it. It's not just, I got a new car. Like when James got his new car, like that was a little bit like, more like he was proud, you know, and that was cool. Like I'm so happy that James has a car that he loves and did the house tour and showed how excited he was about his house. Like I saw that as being really proud and excited. But the way that Jeffree flaunts his wealth bothers me. You know, just always about how rich he is all the time. And that's just not someone that I connect with. And that's okay. And if you connect with Jeffree and you think he's amazing and you love him as a person, I think that's great. And I think you should continue to watch him and enjoy his content. And I'm just staying out of the whole racist part because that's not, you know, that's just going to open up a whole nother thing. But just know that I definitely 100% do not agree with anything that is racist in any way. That breaks my heart. Whether he's changed or not, I don't know. I don't know him as a human, as a person. I don't know. So I don't feel like it's my place to judge whether he is a racist or not at this point. I don't know. I don't know him. But I do not agree or condone anything that he has done in the past as far as that either. He just seems like a cruddy human. And that's what it comes down to. And that's my opinion. It's my opinion. And it's okay. It's 100% okay if you disagree with me. And I'm okay with you. We can still care about each other and still get along, even though we disagree on this. It's okay. But that's just the way I feel about it. And I haven't read comments in a while. But that got really sticky. But that's okay. I like being honest. I like telling you how I feel about things. You know, I don't like hiding things. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You know, Nady is amazing. Amy says, collab with Nady. I would like Nady from Pop Lux. He loves Jeffree Star. And I love him. I adore him. I adore him. So, let's see. Katie says, do people not know the story with the whole racist situation because it's not what people have tuned into? I think what happened is that he did the thing with Jeffree Star. Oh my gosh. He did the thing with Shane Dawson. And I think that put him in a more positive light for a lot of people. It gave an insight into the background of who he is behind the scenes. But the thing is Jeffree is incredibly intelligent. I think that Jeffree is a master manipulator and he's really, really good at it. And I think that he purposely showed Shane the things he wanted everybody to see. And I believe that he purposely didn't show Shane things that he doesn't want people to see. I think Jeffree is perfectly happy in his house with his dogs and his boyfriend, and he doesn't need anything but that. And like, I feel like that the only person that probably knows Jeffree is his boyfriend, Nate. I think that he's the only one that truly knows Jeffree for who Jeffree really is. I don't think Jeffree is ever going to really truly show anybody who he really is, positive or negative, his vulnerable side, all of that. And that's okay. That's okay. But I don't think he showed Shane who he 100% is. I think he showed what he wanted everybody to see. That's my thoughts. I feel like he manipulated the situation because he's very, very intelligent. Very intelligent. That's my opinion. And it's okay. And it's all good. It's all good. It's just an opinion on a public figure. Let's see. Carol Ann, yay. Let's move on. We've got 3 minutes left. Can I ask you what size tabletop you have in your Alex drawers? I have no idea. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. I can tell you what my feelings are with Tati. I adore Tati. I've met Tati multiple times. She was very kind to me, very down to earth, very sweet, very, just not in any way pompous or pretentious in person. And I think she gets accused of that a lot. And she did not come off that way at all. And I have met her a few times, and every time she has been nothing but kind. And you can see it in someone's eyes when they're being kind because they know they're supposed to be kind, and when they're being kind because they are really a kind person. And I saw true kindness in Tati's eyes. And I really do like her as a person. And I do enjoy her channel very, very much. And I feel like I hope that more I hope she gains even more popularity because I feel like she is trying to do things the right way, in that she's trying to take care of her subscribers by giving them good, solid reviews so that they can make good purchasing decisions. And I really hope, are you, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's measuring it for you.
It's just under 4 feet, so it's like 47¼ inches.
47¼ inches on the Alex Drawer tabletop. This guy, really, I love you. Thank you.
23 3/4 deep.
23 3/4 deep, in case you couldn't hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Tiffany says, 30 minutes left. Please see my question. Will you ever go back to teaching? And if not, then why not? What are you doing, babe? You're just measuring everything now. The table that I'm sitting on.
And then you have it's like 78 3/4.
Okay. The one that I'm on right now is 78 3/4. This one.
That's real big.
It's very big. It's a very large table. Okay. So will you ever go back to teaching? If not, then why not? I will probably never go back to public school teaching because I don't like the way that it's run. And we are out of time for chat, unfortunately. I don't like the bureaucracy of it. I don't like that. And this is the way a lot of fields are, that the people at the top are completely detached from the people that are working. So they make all of these decisions about what should happen for these people here. And these people have no say in what happens, but they're the ones who have to live with it. And those are the ones, these are the people that know the way things should be. But these people up here don't consult with these people. They just assume that they know. And then these people are affected and the children are affected. And I just can't live like that. It drives me crazy. I just can't. Like, even if YouTube died tomorrow, I don't think I would go back to teaching. At least public school teaching. Like, I might do like private tutoring. Like, I might work for like a tutoring center. I can see myself doing that. I could see myself opening up for private tutoring, you know, just like tutoring neighborhood kids as like a side gig. You know, something like that. I could see myself working in a dentist's office as a receptionist in a dentist's office. You know what I mean? Like, I see myself doing all kinds of other things, but never again a public school teacher. Unless for some reason that changed, but I seriously doubt it because it's not in the forefront of public opinion when there is political debates and things. Nobody cares about education. Nobody talks about it. It's so incredibly sad. And the teachers are completely ignored when they say this is wrong, this should be changed, this should be fixed. Nobody cares. And it's so incredibly sad. And the kids are the ones that suffer. When we talk about that public school is, you know, we're, you know, low down in public school. We're, you know, as far as like our education system and all of that, it's so incredibly sad because there are so many amazing teachers with amazing ideas that are not being heard. It's really sad. So I can't be in an environment like that for my own mental health. That's why I'll never go back to public school teaching. It's really, really sad. But yeah, that's the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pop off here. I'm sad though, because I really had fun with this chat. I know that some people probably are going to find this not to be makeup related enough, but you know, I know that there are going to be people that really did enjoy it and enjoyed hearing my take on things. Live chat, you can't take anything back. And I'm not afraid to talk about things that are controversial. I'm not afraid to tell you my opinion on things because I am who I am and that's all that I am. And that's all I'm going to show you is who I am. And if that causes people to unsubscribe, I wish you well. I'd rather you unsubscribe because you know who I am than subscribe because you think I'm something I'm not. And that's just the way I want things to be. I more care about having fun on this platform. I more care about giving you good information, about being a helpful place, about being a good place for you to get information. And I'm not going to be right for everybody. And that's okay. That's okay. And if you in your life find that there are people that don't like you for one reason or another, that's okay. It's all right. So mad love to you. I hope that you're doing well wherever you are. If you are in a snowy area, please be safe if you're going out today. And I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.